Hello there. Right now I'm here at the Westin Hotel, and this will be the location for the first Small Business Empowerment RBA 2016. And here with me I have Cory Mosley to tell you about that. Cory, what can people expect with this?
Absolutely. You know, what we wanted to accomplish is, according to the SBA, a third of businesses fail within the first 2 years, with the number one reason being lack of experience. So what we wanted to accomplish with the Small Business Empowerment event is we wanted to bring together some of the experts to really put people on the path to start their business and grow their business, so they can miss some of the mistakes that a lot of people, end up making, or some of the horror stories you hear about business. So we've got experts from legal, finance, digital marketing, and motivation. What does it take to be mentally ready to survive in the climate today?
Awesome, awesome. So for people trying to come out, what should they bring? I mean, obviously maybe something to take notes with.
Right, sure. They need to bring an open mind. They need to be ready to work, ready to get engaged, ready to get information.
You're dressed pretty nicely. Do people need to come out like this? What's the attire?
No, we want people to be comfortable. So, okay. I mean, business casual. We want mindset. I'll take mindset over tailoring anytime, but I will be like this.
Okay,
so.
Nice.
Is it a good idea to hire your spouse?
So I'll say this, it's not a matter of good idea or bad idea. Here's the question you have to ask yourself, and that is, it usually works extremely well or it's a complete disaster. So you have to make decisions about your relationship really at its core to say, hey, am I somebody that appreciates my personal space? So in your personal life, do you and your spouse like to do things differently just so you can be away from each other for a while? Doesn't mean there's a problem in your relationship, but what is the nature of your interaction as a husband and wife? Because that will determine, once it gets magnified, right? So my wife works right in the office across the hall. We're together all the time. We travel together. She's very involved in the business. But I love my wife in a way, from a relationship standpoint, where I want her around me all the time and she wants to be around me all the time.
Right.
That's not how everybody's relationship works, good or bad, right? So I can be days with her. I don't need to get air out of the room or take a break. So it works very, very well for us. We have to have a responsibility. Steve Jobs, another great one, said it best. He said, you can't mandate productivity. It's an organization's responsibility to give its people the tools they need to be successful. And that's going to be the key here.
Talk about the things that someone needs to consider and think about prior to opening up a small business.
Well, obviously, this is a common question that I get. Part of the challenge in our society is we're taught to think about our passion all the time, right? What are you passionate about? The sayings out there, jump and then grow your wings on the way down. Like, all that stuff is really great and it's really inspirational, but jumping and growing your wings on the way down could leave you bankrupt. So
that's right.
The first thing I would say to everybody is you have to discern the idea from passion and revenue, right? So I say do what you love as long as it pays. Most people forget the monetization strategy. So when we work with clients, we talk about something called the HIM document, HIMM, how I make money. You have to define these things before you go just following your passion. So what happens is a lot of people are great at their thing, their craft, their product, their service, but it's all the other parts. It's all the other moving pieces of the puzzle. How do I protect the business? How do I market the business? How do I grow it so that it's meeting the needs that I want it to?
Right. And in a lot of cases, because here in Richmond, as you only well know, restaurants come and restaurants go.
That's right.
So quickly, and that's a very difficult business to get in. And so many of them lack the customer service skills necessary in order to keep going.
Absolutely. It's one thing to make a great chicken parm. It's another to be able to take care of your customers, to be able to master social media and keep people coming back and wanting more.
Right. So obviously you've got a lot of tricks of the trade you're going to teach people at the seminar, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. What we want to be able to do, small business is the backbone of America. We know that. Optimism is an all-time high. Business.com did a study, and optimism for business and small business is up 9%. So we want to capitalize on that energy and combine that energy with the education that people need to whether start their business or, more importantly, grow their business.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Other people are watching going, now, wait a second, what if it's my cousin Bob,
right.
a relative that I love from afar, but I don't know if I want him to work for me, or a friend of mine. We're really close. This guy's got a lot of great ideas. Should I hire him as well?
So, again, you have to, are you prepared to take the actions necessary if it does not work out? My mother, who's really retired, but, she does some part-time stuff, sends me an email the other day, are you hiring? because my she's the lady. You ever go into the Sam's Club and you get the little hey, try the grapes and stuff. So she does that a couple hours a week to stay busy. But she's like, oh, they're cutting my hours back. Are you hiring? And like, no, I'm not hiring my mother. Now I know people who have their family members, but because I would not fire my mother if she didn't do a good job.
Right.
So I'd be stuck. So I would never even open that door. So if you're not somebody who can make the tough decisions that are required in business, regardless of who the other person is on the other side, then no, I would not recommend you bring family into the business.
Walk us through what's going to happen here over the next 5, 6, 7 years as new management comes into place at dealerships nationwide.
Well, listen, the key is going to be management training. The key is going to be the understanding of not just being skilled at dealing with a customer, but being skilled at dealing with people and wanting people to want to work for you. Not just, you want to be the manager they need, but be the leader that they love.
Right.
It's basically the key. So for a lot of people, let's say I'm great at baking cookies. Well, I can make a great cookie, the best cookie you've ever had. That doesn't mean that I can market it properly. But what video is going to allow you to do, it's going to allow you to get the message out there in multiple ways. Number one, let people see the product. Number two, let them learn more about your story, because we're investing in stories, right? Tom's, Warby Parker, all these great companies now, it's the story that makes you want to buy their shoes or buy their product. So now I've got story on my side. I also now have satisfied customers. And because we consume so much video, the power of having customers eat your cookies and go, oh my God, this is the greatest cookie I've ever had in my life is super, super powerful.